So, couple things. First of all, I'm really excited to hear about the success that you're now having, Paige. 25 years old, gonna make over $100,000 this year as a pipe welder. Is that right?
Yes, trying to. I just have to work all year for it. So lots of hard work, but I'm gonna try to make it happen.
And Dalton just finished EMT and firefighting school and is getting ready to go to trade school to become additionally a paramedic. Super proud of Dalton, who's already working, right? You're already at the Reading Fire Department?
Yep, I've been working there a year.
And so I just want to just dive straight into it. Dalton, you have a really good sense of this question because your girlfriend's at a traditional four-year school at Ohio State. So how is a vocational or a trade school different from a more traditional four-year college experience?
So for a vocational school or a trade school is different in a way that it's a lot more specific, because in college you have a list of majors that you can take and minors and GED courses that you can take, and it's very widespread. Whereas a trade school or a vocational school, it's a lot more specific to what you want to do. The fire side of it's more physical, but the EMT side is a lot more mental. But once you get out into the job and you're working at a department, 90% of your job from when you start to you retire is going to be your EMS runs. You're going to be going to people's houses and helping them on their worst days and stuff like that. And only 10% of it's going to be fire. Stuff isn't catching on fire that much nowadays. So yes, we do retain the firefighter certification, but at the end of the day, your moneymaker is going to be the EMT services and paramedic services.
So by having all three of those certifications, you're more employable.
Yes, and in that way. So the only sketchy one is the firefighter, is because like a paramedic I can work in any fire department across the country as a paramedic, because a human body in California is going to be the same one in Atlanta, Georgia. But I mean, firefighting in Colorado is going to be different than fighting fire in Reading, Ohio, because in Colorado it's going to be more wildfires and stuff. So it's a lot more outdoors and forests burning down, not structures.
Because you have all three certifications, you're going to make more money, right?
Yes. So whenever they look online and it's like the median pay for a paramedic is $31,000, that's the average across the country, really. And like 70% of the country is volunteer departments.
All right. So Dalton, after 2 or 3 years, because of all of your different certifications, you're going to be earning at least $50,000-$60,000, right?
Yeah. And a lot, and like with the different ranking systems, such as like fire chief, assistant fire chief, and lieutenants and full-timers, like the pay is different. And so obviously your fire chiefs are going to make the most, and then it's going to be your lieutenants, and then it's going to be your full-timers, and then the lowest paying is going to be part-timers.
And Paige, what about you? What do the pay structures look like in your field, and what are the different niches of welders?
So mostly structural welders, they're going to get paid a lot less than pipe welders. But I've never structurally welded. I just went to pipe school and I went right out into the field with pipe welding. But my first job actually out of school, I passed all three of my tests and I made around like 21 an hour, but that was local. And I did not like it, because usually if you're going to work local and non-union, you're going to do a lot of other things other than just welding. And it's not like I want to weld all the time, because that's kind of exhausting, but I was fresh out of school. I wanted to learn. I wanted to really just get out there, really get my foot in the door, just get my experience up. And I didn't really want to stay around my hometown anyway, which is Reading, Cincinnati, whatever. And so my dream was to travel and get on the road and travel with my dog and just get out there. And you make a lot more money traveling. So you get per diem, which is money that the company gives you each day that you work. So usually it ranges from like 50 to 100 to 120. It just depends who you work for. And it's your living expenses money. It's tax free. So that plus your wage. So whatever your hourly wage is, which starts around, like if you're traveling, my first job on the road, I made around $28 an hour in a shop and $50 a day per diem. But I really didn't have any work around me. So I took it and I learned a lot. And now I'm up to making like 34 to 38 on a job and $100 a day per diem, just around there. But you always work overtime on the road, always. So that's kind of
you're
why
looking for that, right?
Yeah, if I'm most likely not really going to work more than 50 hours a week, I don't really want the job, because that's how you make your money. You want to work at least 60 to, anywhere from 84 hours a week, honestly. And it's exhausting, but say you'll work that for however long the job is for. So maybe anywhere from a few weeks to a few months or a year, whatever you want to work. And then you just take some time off if you feel like it. If you can afford it, take some time off, chill in the camper, hotel, whatever you want to do. So go back home.
And I'll start with Dalton and then go to you, Paige. What are the greatest challenges of your job and the benefits? What do you love the most?
Dalton, you go first.
Honestly,
okay, go ahead.
Honestly, the challenges are obviously like your tough runs, like ones where you could probably usually lose someone, or you see something pretty horrific, or walk into a room and a kid's not breathing. It's just stuff like that. You have to be able to kind of talk about that kind of stuff, and so it doesn't sit with you. But one of the benefits, one of the things I love most is just learning and being around some of these paramedics and listening to them, and just really kind of grasping the hold of the culture that they bring to the fire service, and just really trying to get better at my job so I can provide better care for the people I serve in my local community.
Probably some of the greatest challenges for me personally, I would say, and I don't ever really play this card, but probably being the only female. And sometimes, I meet the best of people, but I also meet the worst too, because I'm working construction, so I'm working around a tough crowd of people to be around, but I get along with everybody. At least I try to. You have to have a backbone if you're going to be a woman or even a man in this industry. And people are ruthless. They can be, or they're going to be the best people I ever meet. I still keep in touch from people from 4 years ago when I first started. Like, they come see me when I'm somewhat a few hours even close to their house just to have dinner. Like, I still keep in touch with all these people. Like, everybody they check on each other. Like, I'm in the campground right now, and with, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 other guys. 2 of them have their wives. We go out every weekend. Like, we talk all the time. We all help each other. It's just one big family. And I love it. Like, I just make a little family wherever I go, and everybody's awesome. But like Dalton was saying, I always tell like people who have less experience than me, be humble. You can always learn something, no matter if you've been doing it for 40 years or you've been doing it for 2 months, because the 19-year-old kid on the job, he could teach me something. I'm only 25, but that 65-year-old guy over there limping around that somebody might not think he's going to teach him something, he has all the knowledge in the world, but he's not physically fit to kind of do it. So just have open ears for everybody. And like I said, be humble, because otherwise people are going to look at you and they don't really want to help you if you're not willing to be helped. So